Prince Harry and Meghan Markle aren't merely scaling back. They're watching the life they curated unravel in real time. The $14 million Montecito mansion, the private jet rides with Elton John, the fairy tale optics that once dazzled, cracking fast. Behind closed doors, the whispers that used to sound like rumor now echo like consensus. The headlines are only just catching up. By Hollywood standards, the Sussexes aren't destitute. There's something far more perilous, out of demand. Not paycheck to paycheck broke, but reputation in the red, phone not ringing, revenue streams thinning out, and the burn rate outpacing even Diana's legacy. Let's rewind. Meghan said it plainly once. She wasn't aiming for millionaire status. She was aiming for billionaire. That's the scale of the ambition. But here's the iron rule of celebrity capitalism. You cannot spend like Oprah if you're not earning like Oprah. Spotify, gone. Netflix's Limonata, branded a flop. The grand podcast blueprint, evaporated. Tyler Perry's Halo projects, no big numbers on the board. And that Montecito glow comes with Montecito bills. With no fresh cash flooding in and no major brand rushing to offer the comeback contract, the arithmetic refuses to cooperate. Insiders are unanimous about the new reality. Belts are tightening, staff trimmed, fewer flights, fewer appearances, fewer rooms where they once commanded the energy. Those private jets, once casually loaned by Tyler Perry and Elton John, are conspicuously absent. In Hollywood, when the freebies go quiet, it's the industry's gentlest way of saying you're no longer essential. And irrelevance, in a town powered by spotlight and status, is a career death sentence. The numbers tell their own stern story. Harry reportedly had around $10 million from Diana's estate at 30, and then another $8 million from the Queen Mother at 40. Call it a cushion. But cushions compress when the lifestyle is all feather and no frame. Private aviation, couture wardrobes, relentless PR, and a palatial California estate. Lifestyle inflation is a hard taskmaster. One former associate put it with flinty clarity. If they want longevity, they must downsize. Brutal truth, no royal paycheck, no royal lifestyle. Brands understand this better than anyone. Brand value follows image, and the image they've sold, the wounded royals seeking peace, has been squeezed for every last drop. Public curiosity drains. So does the premium attached to it. Don't mistake any of this for poverty. It's not collapse, it's panic mode. A scramble, not a stride. Even the king sees it. Behind the scenes, Charles is said to be exploring a path to bring Harry back into the fold. Not purely from paternal warmth, but because it's the one play left that preserves dignity and options. Harry needs ballast, and for all its flaws, the institution is still a lifeline. But there's a counterforce, and it has a name. William. Palace voices say the Prince of Wales is drawing a hard line. No reconciliation on easy terms, no return that reopens old wounds, and certainly no welcome home parade that quietly reinstates Meghan along with Harry. Because everyone knows the truth. Accepting Harry means accepting the circus that forms around him. Meanwhile, the media plays chess. The Sun, long friendly territory for William and Catherine, runs a Jane Moore column urging the family to embrace Harry again, framing him as a grieving younger brother who's lost his way and deserves a second chance. That framing is spreading. Someone wants a rehabilitation arc to land. But who is steering it? Buckingham Palace? Meghan's PR? Sympathetic editors? Whoever it is, they're gambling that sentimentality can outpace memory. The problem? The public remembers. They remember the Oprah interview, the explosive accusations, the book that struck hardest at William and Catherine. And resentment has a long shelf life. Meghan's name, once a reliable magnet in elite circles, doesn't carry like it used to. Her efforts to affiliate with top-tier tastemakers, Oprah, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston, have not translated into lasting alignment. She aimed to build a brand to rival the Kardashians, but without the tireless engine or the fiercely loyal base. With Hollywood's gates narrowing, she's searching for a lane that sticks. Harry, for his part, has drifted toward UK-adjacent events. A subtle reminder that he is still, after all, royal, but it reads as transparent. The moves feel reactive, not strategic. The circle has tightened. One by one, allies step back. Edward Lane Fox, Harry's longtime mentor, quietly left the Invictus Games board, the flagship cause that once defined Harry's purpose. It wasn't loud, but it was loud enough. Others followed, and the silence around their departures speaks volumes. Pause here, because this is where the second act turns jagged. The loss of Invictus allies isn't random. It's signaling. Lane Fox was no ornament. He was the steady hand many believed could help steer Harry back toward meaningful, sustainable relevance. If he's walking, the message is unmistakable. And he wasn't alone. Other trustees and veterans drifted away. Publicly, terms ended. Privately, concerns about drift from a mission-driven veterans platform into a glossy vanity stage. The optics are punishing. When your own team ghosts, it's not because things are thriving. And the whispers grow louder about Meghan's imprint on Invictus. Events feeling more Hollywood than heartfelt, more optics than outcomes. Donors notice. Some now wonder out loud whether another royal figure, less polarizing, less performative, might better serve the athletes. Years ago, that idea would have been heresy. Today, it's a live conversation. At the center of all this is a plain truth. Harry and Meghan built their post-royal identity on media heat. They weaponized sympathy after stepping down. But after the tell-alls, after the memoir, after the high-profile audio-video deals, they were left facing the quiet arithmetic of value. Who pays and for what? Hollywood's back channels, those dinners, those rooms where deals actually happen, have arrived at a consensus. High maintenance, A-list expectations without A-list delivery, drama without definitive results. In that economy, reputation is currency, and the rate has fallen. Look at their social disappearance. Tyler Perry, silent. Oprah, distant. The benefactor constellation that once provided jets and doors and introductions, now dim. When Gulfstream invites dry up, the symbolism bites harder than the travel itself. The message is blunt. You're not on the list. Meghan's lifestyle push hasn't helped. Big, glossy pitches about billion-dollar empires and comparisons to Goop grabbed headlines for a moment. Execution did not. No traction, no viral ignition. In 2025, a launch without lift disappears in hours. The Meghan magic still draws eyes, but attention without conversion is a mirage. Harry looks stranded between worlds. Not a working royal, not a conventional celebrity. He tried to straddle both and fell into a no-man's land where no one quite knows how to book him. The brand that once meant bravery and brotherhood now reads as contradictory. Asking for privacy while signing mega deals, championing mental health while torching family ties in public. The audience that once admired the soldier prince has grown confused, frustrated, or worse, indifferent. Even Invictus, the project closest to his heart, feels precarious now. With trusted allies departing and rumors of internal discontent, pressure is rising to consider a new figurehead who brings calm, not headlines. Should that change come, it wouldn't just bruise the brand, it would wound the man. It would say, the one thing no one could take from you has slipped away. Enter King Charles, the wild card with the least wild options. Reports suggest he's trying to cushion Harry's fall, not as a strategic masterstroke, but as a father's instinct. He cannot stomach the image of his son returning to Britain visibly diminished, hat in hand. So a quieter plan emerges. Steady Harry's image just enough to attract new opportunities. Keep him solvent and do it without formally restoring him to royal duty. But any plan that skirts William is a house on sand. William is the center of gravity now. He hasn't forgotten the wounds, personal and institutional. He isn't gifting easy redemption or gentle reintegration. He wants clean lines, not blurred ones. As long as he holds that line, no soft-focus media campaign can mend what's broken. Even the tabloids seem disoriented. The Sun, the Telegraph, outlets that once cut sharply at the Sussexes now publish op-eds edging toward forgiveness, suggesting it might be time to bring Harry in from the cold. One columnist even floated the idea that Archie and Lilibet could someday bridge the cousins' divide. It reads like palace fan fiction. The reality is simpler and sadder. These children do not know their cousins. George, Charlotte, and Louis aren't swapping cards with Montecito. There were no shared summers at Balmoral, no muddy boots in the gardens, no Christmas chaos at Sandringham. Those bonds didn't break. They never formed. And it wasn't the Windsors who barred the gates. Harry and Meghan made those choices, declining invitations, skipping milestones, choosing distance over détente. There is a cost to that calculus, and it will come due in the quiet years, paid by the children who never asked to be pieces on anyone's chessboard. The future for Harry and Meghan feels less like a new chapter and more like a slow retreat. The dream of dominating American media is slipping, and neither Hollywood nor Buckingham Palace is offering a wide net. That Montecito estate, once the jewel of independence, now looms like an expense that's hard to justify. The walls aren't just closing in financially. They're closing in socially, professionally, emotionally. Meghan is reportedly workshopping yet another rebrand. She has tried activist, duchess, producer, podcaster, entrepreneur, lifestyle guru. None has stuck. The audience is tired, the media is wary, and her inner circle is thinner. One source says she overestimated her power and underestimated the industry. Charm carries you to the door. Results are what let you in. The streaming deals and production partnerships came with expectations. Deadlines, deliverables, numbers. Those weren't met. Harry's identity crisis deepens. Neither royal nor star, he stares at a middle space that rewards no one. The contradictions pile up. The goodwill drains away. The Invictus games, his beacon, risk being recast without him if the turbulence doesn't subside. That would be more than a headline. It would be a severing of purpose. And behind it all, Charles walks a tightrope. Reintegrate Harry too openly and risk alienating William, the foundation of the next reign. Leave Harry to flounder and watch a son unravel publicly, dragging the family name behind him. It's a lose-lose dilemma. The press, keen to sell a softer narrative, now massages the story, reframing Harry as misunderstood rather than combative. But the audience is not amnesiac. They remember the interviews, the memoir, the accusations. They remember who struck the matches. You cannot simply rewind the tape when you sold the rights to your version of events. And so, a full-scale royal reintegration looks impossible. The damage isn't only public, it's private. And the monarchy's timelines for forgiveness are counted in reigns, not news cycles. As for Archie and Lilibet, they're already being woven into the redemption fantasy. Balcony photos, cousin reunions, the next generation balm. But the crown is not raised on hopes. It's raised on habits, rituals, relationships. Those children are being raised in America, apart from the institution's rhythms. Whatever royal DNA they hold means little without royal life. Curiosity will follow them, certainly, but curiosity is not comfort. It brings scrutiny and expectation, not sanctuary. This is the fallout. What was sold as freedom, reinvention, and the triumph of authenticity has curdled into isolation, shrinking options, and a future held together by hope more than strategy. There is no master plan now, only a series of last resorts. The brand is fractured, the trust is gone, and the world that once opened its doors so readily is asking a simple question before it opens them again. What, precisely, do you deliver? Until there's a compelling answer, the jets stay grounded, the rooms stay closed, and the headlines grow colder.